Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we're talking about the upcoming Stadium event that will be coming to Rainbow Six Siege in about early February. Now this is a follow-up to a previous video I did where I went over all the official teasers we'd already got on this Stadium event and I kind of theorized how it might play out when we get to play it. But we now have data mined information as well. Now when it comes to data mine stuff, I've got a pretty new policy. I've only been doing it for about a month now, but I'm not going to be covering much of the data mined content. Only going to show stuff that I think is really interesting and kind of adds more questions to the whole thing. So we're going to look at a single photo from the data mine. Now I'd also like to mention, because of the data mine from the recent PC patch, it also means that we're not getting a Christmas event. No Christmas event has been data mined out of it, so there's no Christmas event coming out. The next event should be this Stadium event, which will be at the 6 Invitationals, which is about early February. So what we have here is the new map for the event, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This has me super hyped for this event because it looks so cool. I think the map design's awesome. I'm curious to see how it's going to work and play and how it's all going to, come together. But I think it looks so good. And from the data mined information, it looks like it's almost made up of different maps. So there's a kid's bedroom, for instance. There's a garage. It's almost as if they took like different parts of different maps and kind of squished them all together to make this one. So it's kind of like an embodiment of the greatest hits of Rainbow Six Siege, which I kind of like. It's also, of course, quite different from what we've seen before. They're using different textures, different surfaces. It's still got the usual destructible stuff, but they look different as well. It's very, very cool. It's got these big windows as well, like big circular windows for what would obviously be for the stadium crowd to actually see in. Although I really don't see this working as a spectator sport. Like, if the fight is happening on one side of the building, maybe part of the crowd on that side will see. The rest isn't going to be able to see. They're going to be watching like big screens of what's going on. So I don't know if it'd be a great spectator sport, but Pro League's a great spectator sport. Lots of people go and sit down and actually watch that on big screens, so maybe it'd work. And I don't know, is this the future of Pro League? Is this what they're trying to do? Is this what they're going for? So let's go over this. It's very, very interesting, of course, just looking at this one picture. Let's start with the setting, for instance. It's in a stadium. So we already knew that this was going to probably be in a stadium. There was Harry talking about doing a restoration of a stadium, setting up new rules for this stadium's kind of tournament, and bringing in the different nationalities to take part in this. So Harry, the leader of Rainbow Six, has put a lot of money into creating this event, which he actually got from the White Masks, so probably from just seizing all their bank accounts. So it does make me wonder if this is a temporary thing or a permanent thing. Like, will this map end up permanently in the game afterwards, or is it just going to disappear? I'd love to see it in the game permanently, if it's good to play, obviously. But it looks really nice, and I think I'd enjoy playing it quite regularly. So I do wonder if it could potentially be a permanent one in the future. And considering we do get like a small amount of new maps every year, like, we only got one this year. Maybe in year 5, this could be one of those maps we get. Maybe later in the season, you maybe have a special event, and then maybe later on it comes back and we get it for future. Another great thing in this map that is awesome and also gives us a lot of details is the scoreboard. We can see that there's going to be attackers and defenders in this game mode, and we can see that obviously they're going to have rounds and a timer, which makes sense. But the interesting thing is, it actually says Rainbow Six Siege, which in the universe that has been created by Rainbow Six Siege, there is no siege in there. That's something we have as the name of the game. It doesn't actually appear anywhere in the universe of Rainbow Six Siege. So it's almost like Harry has decided to pick that as the name of this event, which obviously is what we call the game. So it could also be, we could kind of see this as like, it's taken basically, at this point, over 4 years for the game to get to the point of where it's actually going to become Rainbow Six Siege in both the real world and in the fictional Siege universe. Now, if we move to the right hand corner, we actually have Mozzie in a forklift, and he's actually moving around the different bits of cover, so kind of setting up the map. And I wonder if that means maybe in the lore he helped to either design it, or he is just there to be labor as he moves all this stuff around. But it shows overall, when it comes to map design, there's a lot of external cover, so I think we can assume that attackers will just simply spawn outside as normal, and there's a lot of cover for them to hide behind as they approach the building. There's also kind of a drop down into a lower area, and there's about 3 levels total for the map. I love the aesthetic design of this map. It's made up of modules that are actually getting pieced together. So you can see that the crane is bringing in a new module. You can also see on the top level, we've actually got where other modules could be connected. So this map could just keep getting higher and higher if they wanted to design it that way. It also makes me wonder, of course, that's makes sense for this. This is a spectator sport, so you want to be able to set up the map quickly, you want to be able to modify it quickly, you also want to reset it quickly, so once a wall gets destroyed and the next round starts, you want to be able to go put that new wall back in. So it all makes sense for it to be modular, but I do wonder if potentially that's a little teaser of the future for Siege or another Rainbow Six game, because the way this is built is very much like it could be either procedurally generated, or you could have a map creator where you actually have all these modules and you put them together to create a whole new map. So it's an absolutely awesome design choice, but because of Harry's claims that this is the future of Rainbow, I do wonder if potentially this is a teaser of a future game, because we're going to have a year-long story for year 5. It's going to start from the beginning of the year and end at the end of the year. And the end of the year is when the next-gen consoles launch. I'm wondering if there's something special they've got planned for that, because I'm kind of wondering, like, this is what we've got here is a spectator sport in a game that is, of course, known for its Pro League. So could we see a whole new Pro League with a different game that has a slightly different kind of way of doing things? Maybe unlike Siege, it's procedurally generated, or something else that makes it different and goes after a different kind of segment of that Pro League kind of scene? Or is this just simply a really cool map that, of course, I would love to keep in the game? This map looks so cool. Now, it might play terrible, but I'm hoping it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to be very competitive, and what I'd love to see is this not just be a special event, but actually get added in with the launch of the new season for Season 1 of Year 5, and to see it then continue throughout. And even then, they can come in and they can, because of the modular design, they could basically release different versions of this map over time. Now, of course, let's just take a step back, because Rainbow Six is supposed to be counter-terrorism, and we're getting Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is all about viruses and zombies, and then we're going to get this special event, which is about Rainbow Six becoming a spectator sport, and we've got these counter-terrorists taking part in sport. It's a bit weird. Like, it's not what I would have envisioned at any point in the history for Rainbow Six. But I am kind of looking forward to it, of course. However, I am holding out hope that there will be a counter-terrorism element to this. I don't think there'll be any in the actual gameplay, but with the CGI cinematic that we know is coming alongside this, they could add in a villain and a terrorist organization that attacks this event. Because if you're going to set up a counter-terrorism sporting event, that kind of seems like a really nice target for terrorists. So if it doesn't get attacked by bad guys, I'd be very, very surprised. And especially with the devs saying there's going to be a year-long story from the beginning of the year all the way to the end, it kind of makes sense that there's got to be a bad guy in there. Otherwise, it seems like it's going to be kind of a boring story if they're just setting up an event and playing it through all year. Anyway, guys, to conclude, I'm really, really hyped for this. I wasn't expecting this kind of level of cool for this event. I knew it was going to be, something interesting, but this map looks awesome. Now, we know it's probably just going to be normal bombs with pick and ban and all that, so probably just normal ranked rules. However, getting a new map is awesome. Hope it sticks around, or at least comes back at some point. And I'm super hyped. It's a pity the hype has come about a month and a half early because of all these data mined leaks. I would rather have figured this out closer to the event, but I am excited and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to have to be patient now as we wait for the 6 invitationals to roll in. And we should get this before the invitationals actually start, so my guess would be possibly late January is when we'll actually see this event. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.